Hello, everybody. If you want to read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 705, The Midnight Message, Upper Beginner. Emma worked late at the small bakery on Main Street. She loved the smell of fresh bread and the sound of the oven humming. One night after closing, she heard a soft buzz from the back room. She turned the light on and saw a tiny envelope lying on the counter. It had no name, only a red stamp shaped like a moon. Curious, Emma opened the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper. The paper read, "Meet me at the old clock tower at 12:30. Bring the silver spoon." Emma felt a chill. She did not know anyone who would ask for a silver spoon. She looked around the bakery, but everything was quiet. She decided to keep the note safe and went home. At 12:30, Emma walked to the clock tower. The streets were empty and the street lamps cast long shadows. She stood near the base of the tower, holding the spoon she kept for tea. Suddenly, a voice called her name from the darkness. It was Mr. Patel, the owner of the antique shop across the street. He smiled and explained that he had hidden a valuable watch inside the spoon many years ago. He needed someone trustworthy to retrieve it before the police arrived. Emma handed him the spoon, and he gave her a small gold coin as thanks. Emma returned to the bakery feeling proud. She learned that sometimes a simple act of curiosity can lead to unexpected adventure. Vocabulary notes. Humming. Verb. Present participle, used as an adjective here. Meaning, a low, steady, continuous sound like a soft music-like noise. Example, she loved the smell of fresh bread and the sound of the oven humming. Similar related words, buzzing, droning, murmuring, whirring. Chill, noun. Meaning, a feeling of coldness that makes you shiver. Also used figuratively for a sudden feeling of fear or nervousness. Example, Emma felt a chill. She did not know anyone who would ask for a silver spoon. Similar related words. Shiver, cold snap, goosebumps, tingle. Trustworthy, adjective. Meaning, reliable, someone you can depend on, honest. Example, he needed someone trustworthy to retrieve it before the police arrived. Similar related words. Reliable, dependable, honest, faithful, loyal. Unexpected, adjective. Meaning, not anticipated, surprising. Example, Emma returned to the bakery feeling proud. She learned that sometimes a simple act of curiosity can lead to unexpected adventure. Similar related words. Unforeseen, surprising, sudden, unplanned, abrupt. Proud, adjective. Meaning, feeling pleased with something you have done or with who you are. Example, Emma returned to the bakery feeling proud. Similar related words. Satisfied, pleased, gratified, content, delighted. Story written by Lumo AI. Image created by onemin.ai. To read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.
So today we're going to dive into a short, pretty mysterious story called The Midnight Message. It's a story that kicks off in the quietest part of a small town, and while it ends with a secret that's been hiding right under everyone's noses for years. And this whole thing really starts with a question I want you to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this. What kind of secrets could a simple, everyday object possibly hold? As you're about to see, the answer is way more interesting than you might think. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story begins in this little town, and we meet our main character, Emma. She's working late one night at the cozy bakery on Main Street, long after the last of the customers have gone home. You see, for Emma, this quiet time is actually her favorite part of the day. The whole place is filled with that warm, amazing smell of bread, and the only sound is the gentle, steady hum of the oven. It's that sound that kind of makes the empty bakery feel alive. Yeah, it's that kind of low, constant background noise that's almost musical. You know, like the whirring of a fan or the buzzing of a refrigerator. It's just there. But on this particular night, something's different. That familiar hum, it gets broken by another sound, a faint, kind of unusual buzz coming from the back room. So Emma goes to investigate, and she finds something totally out of place, a tiny, mysterious little envelope. And this is where things get really weird. I mean, the envelope is super tiny, and there's no name on it at all. But it does have this one really strange detail, a red stamp, and it's shaped just like a moon. So, what would you do? Of course, her curiosity gets the best of her, and she opens it. The message inside is short, a little creepy, and very, very specific. It just says, "Meet me at the old clock tower at 12:30. Ring the silver spoon." A silver spoon? What in the world could that mean? I mean, can you imagine getting a note like that? This bizarre request sends a literal chill right down her spine. It's just so odd and specific. It's immediately unsettling. Who would send this, and why a silver spoon? And we're not talking about the temperature here, right? This is that sudden jolt of fear or nerves that gives you goosebumps. That's the kind of chill she felt. So, against probably her better judgment, Emma decides she has to go. At 12:30, she grabs a silver spoon she uses for tea and starts walking through the silent town, heading straight for the old clock tower. Just picture this for a second. It's way past midnight, the whole town is asleep, and the streets are completely deserted. The silence is almost heavy, you know? And it just adds to this growing mystery. The only light is from these old street lamps, and they're just throwing these long, creepy shadows everywhere. In this kind of quiet, every little sound, every flicker of movement just feels huge. So there's Emma, standing at the bottom of this clock tower, clutching the spoon, her heart just pounding. And you have to wonder, who on earth is waiting for her out here in the dark? And then she hears it. A voice cuts through the silence and calls her name. And who is it? It's not some shadowy stranger. It's Mr. Patel, the friendly guy who owns the antique shop right across the street from the bakery. Probably the last person she ever expected to see. Okay, so Mr. Patel, he quickly explains what's going on, and this is serious. He tells her he needs her help to get something important back before the police arrive. He picked her because he knew she was trustworthy, and this was a secret he just couldn't risk getting out. You know, he was putting a lot on the line. He needed someone he could count on, someone dependable and honest, who wouldn't let him down. And this is where the whole secret comes out, because this isn't just any old spoon. Nope. It holds a secret that Mr. Patel has been hiding for years, a secret he desperately needed to get back. So here's the whole backstory, the whole plan. Turns out, years and years ago, he hid a valuable family watch inside this special hollowed-out spoon. Now, with the police about to get involved in his business for some reason, he had to get it back. So he came up with this mysterious note to find someone trustworthy, Emma, to get the spoon and bring it to him safely. So Emma gets it. She understands how serious this is, and she hands him the spoon. And as a thank you for her help and for keeping his secret, Mr. Patel gives her a small gold coin. Now, as Emma is walking back to the bakery, holding this little gold coin, she's not just thinking about the reward. She feels proud. She followed her gut, faced down a little fear, and ended up helping her neighbor out of a really tight spot. And this isn't about bragging, right? It's that deep down good feeling you get when you've done something right, something brave and helpful. That's what she was feeling. So, what's the big lesson here from this wild midnight escapade? It's about way more than just a gold coin. It's a pretty valuable lesson. And this right here is really the core of the whole thing. What Emma learned that night was that sometimes just a simple little act of curiosity can take you on a completely unexpected adventure. I mean, think about it. The whole night was one surprise after another. From that weird note to the secret hidden inside a spoon, nothing went the way you'd think it would. And that kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. Emma's entire adventure started with one small choice, to open that mysterious envelope. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What small act of curiosity in your own life could lead to something completely unexpected? What adventure might be waiting right around the corner for you?